My name is Gina Covarrubias. I'm an engineering life coach. Today, we're going to talk about career attachment. How exciting is this? I talk to so many people who are attached to their careers. Essentially, as a life coach, what I do is I help people think for themselves, and that allows them to create autonomy in life. So we're going to talk about what attachment is and what it might look like for you. And I love the picture of the roller coaster. It is very relevant to attachment. And we'll talk about why on the next slide. So after I define attachment in section 1, we're going to talk about 2 different reward systems and how to balance those systems. Okay? So let's get started by helping you answer the question, am I too attached? Let's dive right in and talk about what attachment is. What does career attachment mean? That means you have an emotional dependence on certain job outcomes. For example, you depend on having a great performance review. You depend on getting that promotion, on getting that raise, on getting that job offer, on getting that validation, and on and on and on. And when you get those things, it makes you feel good. You're giving credit to these external things for the way you feel. That's what career attachment is all about. Why is this potentially harmful? It can be harmful because your quality of life will ride the roller coaster of your work outcomes. And what that means is when things are going great and everybody loves you at work and you're getting praise and recognition, life can be great. Life can feel wonderful. But at the same time, as soon as something goes south, or as soon as you get a new boss, or as soon as you get laid off, or whatever the case, then your life just takes a turn for the worse and it spills over into your personal well-being. So we don't want that to happen. That's how career attachment can be potentially harmful to you. And here are a few examples of what career attachment might look like. If you have ever said to yourself, I can't say no to the boss, I better do everything they say, or maybe I really hope they like me, I really hope they hire me, or I need this job. And I'll tell you, as a coach, I've heard that one a lot during the pandemic. Another common one is, I deserve a promotion. I worked really hard and I deserve it. Or I work here because they provide great benefits. Okay, so these are all examples of what attachment might look like. These will promote an unhealthy relationship with your career. You might wake up one day and look like this poor fellow here who clearly hasn't gotten much sleep and walks around with his mug that says, I love my job, good morning, but yet inside he's probably dying or depressed or just dealing with too much overwhelm. So we don't want to put ourselves in this position. And I'd like to end this section with this brilliant quote by Epictetus, who was a Stoic philosopher. Clinging to borrowed goods is a recipe for pain. So we don't want to be clingy when it comes to our jobs. We don't need to do that. Let's talk about now different kinds of reward systems. What am I supposed to do if I'm attached, you might ask? Well, the first thing you need to do is be aware of different reward systems. There are 2 kinds I'm going to talk about now. The first kind is external rewards. That's when you look to the outside world to feel good. So in other words, you depend on either the praise at work or the recognition or the promotion or the raise or the perks or even being hired, even being employed. You depend on that job offer and so on and so on. All of these external things are outside of your control. You do not get to take a hold of the wheel and do the driving here. You are relying on things outside of you for your emotional well-being. And that is not a great place to put yourself. Too often, anyway. If it's chronic and if it's too much, then it can wear you out. So these external rewards exist outside of you. They are not within your control. unlike an internal reward system. And what this looks like is you giving credit to yourself for your own internal efforts and your own internal pursuits, such as evolving and progressing, such as stimulating your intellect, defeating obstacles in the workplace, growing your emotional maturity, continuous learning, which is going to be a journey for you throughout your life, owning your commitments and sticking to them. Self-praise, that's something that many people might shy away from because they don't want to feel like they're arrogant or boasting. I highly recommend you praise yourself for all the small wins, all the small mistakes you make, and for getting back up on your feet. So internal rewards is about recognizing your own genuine pursuit and effort and giving credit to those things. And the reason we want to try to do this is because internal rewards exist inside of you. They come from within, which means you have 100% control over this kind of reward system. You get to take hold of the steering wheel and be the driver. And I'd like to end that section with this brilliant quote by Dr. Andrew Huberman. He's a Stanford professor of neurobiology, I think, and ophthalmology. But either way, he has a podcast, Huberman Lab podcast, and it's wonderful. He says, if you're constantly in pursuing external goals, it will wear your nervous system down. You will be exhausted. One will eventually run aground. And he says the key question you can ask yourself, how can I acquire internal rewards along the way? Which I think is a brilliant key question that you should challenge yourself to answer. So that leads us to talking about balancing these two reward systems. So here's the thing, in our culture, we keep hearing these messages: achieve more, produce more, be successful, climb the ladder, and on and on and on. And in the mandate to try to do these things, sometimes we completely dismiss or we ignore our successes and our failures and our lessons learned. And we don't think about all the efforts and all the pursuits that we've actually created for ourselves. We don't think about the time investment, the mental investment that we've made in some of our projects. And we dismiss the knowledge we've learned or the mistakes that we've learned and the lessons we've learned from those mistakes. So we tend to think that the discomfort of personal growth may not be a good thing because it doesn't feel good. Discomfort doesn't feel good. However, we have to plow through and experience discomfort to reach the next level and to evolve ourselves. Discomfort is required. So don't dismiss all of those things that you have created for yourself along the way, despite the outcome. So remember, external rewards are surface level. Those are the things that everybody else sees. But the internal rewards are intrinsic, and they're only recognized by you, which makes it tough to create that kind of reward system. So next, I'm going to go over an example. This is an example of somebody who has had a performance evaluation in the workplace. And this person says, I feel great about my performance review. And what they're doing here is they are giving credit to externals for feeling good. So what they might say is, I feel great about my review because guess what? I got the raise I wanted and they really value me. And all my hard work got me a really great score. And now I know management likes me. So these are all things, these are all external things that this person is giving credit to for feeling good. This person has become satisfied because certain things outside of them have happened. This person had certain expectations of the outside world, and this person was looking for a raise. They were looking for praise. They were looking for a certain score, and they were looking for approval. Okay, these are all externals that are outside of our control. This person is emotionally dependent on the outcome of the performance review. That's what's happening here. Let's use the same example, except we're going to look at an internal reward system. If you direct your reward system internally, you might say, I feel great about my performance review because guess what? I gained so much knowledge even though I made some mistakes. I see many opportunities in the workplace for self-improvement. I savor my work ethic and my genuine efforts that I put in towards my job. I'm improving my ability to get along with people in the workplace, and some of them are really hard to get along with. So this person is feeling great about their review because of internal rewards. So what happens is this person is satisfied because they know they've gained knowledge and they know that they've made self-improvements, and they're very satisfied with the efforts they have made toward their job, and they know they've improved their interpersonal skills. And what happens is that this kind of person is not emotionally dependent on the outcomes of the job performance or of the performance review, excuse me. Now, the fact that the performance review happened to be very good, that's just kind of a cherry on top. Like, that's kind of nice to have, but it's not required when you can create an internal reward system for yourself. So here's my conclusion. The more internal reward you can create for yourself, the more autonomy you will experience. An external reward system, which is outside of your control, is energy depleting, and it will keep you chasing and chasing and chasing. An internal reward system is energy begetting, and it will feed you, and it will motivate you to keep looking for more internal rewards. And I'd like to end with one more example of an internal reward system. This is from American physicist Richard Feynman. He won a Nobel Prize, I think in 1965. And what he said about his prize is this: I don't like honors. I don't see that it makes any point that someone in the Swedish Academy decides that this work is noble enough to receive a prize. I've already got the prize. The prize is in the pleasure of finding the thing out, the kick in the discovery, the observation of other people who use it. Those are the real things. Honors are unreal to me. Now, I'm not saying this is how you're supposed to feel about any sort of honors or rewards or awards, but I do want to let you know this is possible for you. So thanks for joining me. Again, my name is Gina Covarrubias. Let me know what you think, Gina@deliberatedoing.com. Thanks, everyone.